Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Tuesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, Namibia must stop waiting for extreme weather disasters to strike before responding, the Ministry of Health and Social Services has warned. Deputy Minister Hambeleleni Njaleka says climate change is already affecting public health, food and water security, livelihoods and essential services. Speaking at the University of Namibia's Hage Geingob campus in Windhoek, she said Namibia's status as one of the driest countries in sub-Saharan Africa leaves it particularly vulnerable. Njaleka warned that drought can worsen food insecurity and mental health, while floods can lead to displacement, contaminated water and disease outbreaks. She also highlighted the health risks of extreme heat, including heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and cardiovascular and respiratory complications. She said the impact of extreme weather is not felt equally, with vulnerable communities carrying the greatest burden. Now, more than 1,100 learners in the Commerce region were still without school placement by March, as overcrowding pushed teacher-learner ratios as high as 55 learners per teacher. According to the region's 2025-2026 annual report, more than 300 Grade 1 learners and over 805 Grade 8 learners remained unplaced, mainly in Topias Hainyeko, Katutura Central, Samora Machel, Moses Garueb and Commerce-Dal. The report says rapid urbanization is putting growing pressure on schools, with Commerce now home to 494,605 people, making it Namibia's most populous region. Despite the overcrowding, the region improved its academic performance in the 2025 examinations, moving from 8th to 4th nationally at ordinary level and from 10th to 9th at advanced subsidiary level. The report says 10 basic education capital projects worth more than 200 million Namibian dollars are currently under construction in the region, including new schools in Mixed Settlement, Goriankab and Ochongwise. Now, the mother of a young boy is suing the Education Ministry and others for 9 million Namibian dollars after her son allegedly suffered permanent and severe injuries when a metal soccer post fell on his head at Mariental Primary School. The incident reportedly happened on the 28th of October 2019 during school hours. The boy was taken to Mariental Hospital and later transferred to Katutura Intermediate State Hospital due to the severity of his injuries. The court documents also indicate that he was reportedly unconscious for 2 to 3 weeks, required assisted breathing, and was fed through a tube. His mother alleges that the education authorities failed to ensure that the school environment and equipment were safe. And now, bringing us to the end of our top stories, a 50-year-old paralyzed inmate has won a high court battle to have his deteriorating medical condition considered for release from prison. Judge Boas Usiku set aside the Windhoek Correctional Facility medical officer's refusal to recommend Kamastar Erwin Ndukurirepo for medical release. Now, Ndukurirepo is serving a 20-year sentence for murder and has been bedridden since 2024 after developing paralysis. He is now dependent on others for basic needs and has developed pressure sores. 2 medical specialists recommended that he be released into an appropriate care facility, warning that his condition could deteriorate further without specialized care. Now, Judge Usiku found that the medical officer had failed to properly consider the specialist's findings and that keeping Ndukurirepo in prison under his current conditions was inconsistent with his right to human dignity. The court has ordered the medical officer to recommend his release on medical grounds within 10 court days. However, the court did not order his immediate release. That brings us to the end of our top stories. After the break, we bring you our Community Talk segment.
This is Generation C, where high school stories come alive. It's youth-led, youth-driven, and all about real voices from real schools. From standout learners and aspiring teachers, to school culture, talent, vibes, and everything that makes each school unique. No scripts, No filters, just authentic moments and big energy. Catch Generation C every Friday at 12 p.m. on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25. Missed it? No stress. Watch anytime on 1UP2 under My Zone TV. Generation C, made by the youth for the youth. This is where your school gets the spotlight.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
Tonight in our Community Talk segment, City Mender Namibia has officially launched nationwide, giving residents a free platform to report and track infrastructure and service delivery problems in their communities. Available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, the platform allows users to report more than 30 types of issues, including potholes, damaged streetlights, water leaks, electricity and water outages, illegal dumping, and sewer problems. Reports are automatically mapped using GIS technology, creating a live map of infrastructure problems across Namibia. Founder Keuren Maharaj says the platform is intended to help residents and authorities work with better, more current information on conditions across communities. He says repeated reports can also help identify recurring infrastructure problems and areas requiring attention. City Mender is available for free to residents nationwide. Still with our Community Talk segment, MTC is investing nearly 625 million Namibian dollars in telecommunications infrastructure this financial year as it expands network coverage and accelerates the rollout of fiber and 5G services. MTC Chief Technical and Information Officer Dr. Monica Nehemiah announced the investment at the opening of the 25th Ongwediva Annual Trade Fair on Sunday. She says the capital expenditure will go towards expanding network coverage, rolling out fiber connectivity, upgrading existing infrastructure, and speeding up the deployment of 5G technology. MTC is also continuing its support for trade fairs and exhibitions across the country, with at least 1.2 million Namibian dollars allocated annually to such events. The company has supported the Ongwediva Trade Fair for more than 20 years. Nehemiah says trade fairs remain important platforms for connecting businesses, entrepreneurs, investors, and communities while supporting entrepreneurship and economic activity. We'll now take a quick ad break and bring you the latest in economic news right after the break.
From the heart of the continent to its farthest horizons, Africa awakens with stories that shape our world. This is Africa Good Morning, your window into the pulse of a dynamic continent. I'm Ashwin Berry, here to deliver the latest news, sharp insights, and the vibrant spirit of Africa. Every weekday, we dive into the headlines, uncover untold stories, and spotlight the people driving change. Plus, stay ahead with daily weather forecasts and economic updates to navigate your week with confidence. With direct coverage from our correspondents on the ground, we bring you in-depth access to Africa's beating heart. Mondays, Mike Situla reports from Zambia.
Africa, good morning.
Tuesdays, Talent Gore covers Zimbabwe.
Africa.
Wednesdays, Rorisang Mokojwe brings Botswana's news. Dumela, Rorisang.
Thank you very much, Ashwin, for having me right here on Africa. Good morning. It is always a pleasure to be here with you all.
Thursdays, Ari Hogarth tackles South Africa.
Yes, very good morning, Ashwin and Aina. Yes, a good atmosphere.
And Fridays, we focus on Namibia's bold narratives. From thriving cities to rugged plains, our team is there, capturing the rhythm of a continent on the rise. Africa Good Morning is your essential start. News, weather, economics, and more.
Tonight at Economic News, RMB Namibia and Letego Holdings Namibia have announced new senior appointments as both financial institutions strengthen their leadership teams. RMB Namibia has appointed Rehabim Ray Awala Jr. as head of global markets effective 1st June 2026. Awala has more than 12 years of experience within the First Rand Namibia Group and most recently led RMB Namibia's trade and execution desk. His background includes financial accounting, treasury and global markets. Meanwhile, Letego Holdings Namibia has appointed Ashanti Maneti as Chief Commercial Officer effective 18 August 2026. Maneti has more than 14 years of experience in financial services with expertise in commercial strategy, marketing, customer growth and lending. And now let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 21.83 against the British pound, 18.68 to the euro, 16.02 against the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 38 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Looking at commodities, gold and copper on an upturn of 0.27 and 1.21% respectively, while platinum and Brent crude oil took dips of 1.50 and 4.11% respectively. Tonight in international news, jurors in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial are expected to hear the final witnesses after nearly a month of testimony focused on her mental state when she killed her 3 young children. More details to follow as we get into international news right after the break.
Dis tyd om alles te los en net te speel. Van die grootste stories tot die wildste oomblikke. Ons bring dit alles reguit na jou skerm toe. Stories, mense en die energie wat jou laat voel, jy's deel van iets groter. Moenie uitspeel mis nie. Elke Vrydag aand om 8uur op DStv kanaal 285, GoTV kanaal 25 en OneUp2.
The inside scoop on the hottest music, biggest events and the trendsetters shaping our art and entertainment scene? From exclusive interviews to behind-the-scenes access, Chill TV keeps you plugged into the vibes that matter. Music, fashion, lifestyle, talent, it's all here. Chill TV. Don't just watch culture happen, be part of it. Catch Chill TV now on 102.com, your pulse on lifestyle and entertainment.
Headlining our international news, jurors in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial are expected to hear the final witnesses after nearly a month of testimony focused on her mental state when she killed her 3 young children in Massachusetts in January of 2023. The defense is expected to continue questioning forensic psychologist Kirk Heilbrun, a prosecution expert who testified that Clancy was mentally ill but did not believe she was experiencing acute psychosis when the killings occurred. Helbrun diagnosed Clancy with bipolar 2 disorder, but disputed her claim that she experienced a command hallucination ordering her to kill her children. He said such an isolated hallucination occurring only during the killings would be highly unusual and concluded that Clancy understood that her actions were wrong. Another prosecution expert, forensic psychiatrist Dr. Avram Mack, also testified that he found no evidence of psychosis, mania, or hypomania leading up to the killings. Both experts agreed that Clancy was severely mentally ill, but said she remained capable of controlling her impulses and distinguishing right from wrong. That brings us to the end of our international news segment. Let's take a look at the weather predictions. Windhoek can expect partly cloudy conditions together with maximum temperatures of 27 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures of 14 degrees Celsius. In Rundu, bright, sunny, clear skies together with maximum temperatures of 34 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures of 15 degrees Celsius. Looking over at the coast in Walvis Bay, maximum temperatures of 28 degrees Celsius are to be expected and minimum temperatures of 14 degrees Celsius. In Oranjemund, it's bright, sunny, clear skies, though it will be quite hot with maximum temperatures expected to hit 29 degrees Celsius and to drop to as low as 15 degrees Celsius. Stay with Sunset News because right after the break, we bring you the latest in sports news, courtesy of the Sport Rep Desk with this video from Jesse Jackson Kalreitha. Stick around.
Mornings just got better, Namibia. From the latest headlines to the hottest trends, we're bringing you the conversations that matter.
That's right. Bright minds, bold opinions, and a touch of morning magic. This is your daily dose of energy.
So grab a cup and join in on the conversation every weekday morning at 8 o'clock with Smell the Coffee, hosted by Diana Master and Aina Riza Quayo.
Aitsa is 'n echt Namibiese inisiatief. Ons reis op die hartklop van Afrika en vertel stories van mense en hulle dorpe op verskeie platforms insluitende televisie en sosiale media. Dit is joune, syne, julle en ook almal van hulle aan die ander kant van ons grense sinne en dit maak Aitsa 'n lekker ding. Kyk Aitsa maande om 18:30 op NTV, oneup2.com as ook op Netwerk Media Hub en NTV Afrikaans se YouTube kanale. Volg ons op Facebook of besoek ons webwerf by aitsafrica.com.
Let's throw back to our tennis coach, Clifford Gundovandu, who is trying to develop tennis in this country. And of course, they have been doing well in recent days. Obviously, let's hear from him in terms of how their program works.
Hi, my name is Clifford Gundovandu. I'm a professional tennis coach at JTTS. Yes, I have been at BNC, but before I went to BNC, I was here at the One Tennis School for 9 years. And from 9 years, then I just started going solo, whereby I actually were interacting, like grooming players, like doing development on basis of like going to school, approach them and get players and start letting them into school leagues and all that. So, and that was actually the main goal of like grooming players and putting them into the national rankings so that they can be a part of the tennis program. And I have been with BNC for 2 years. And after 2 years, then I had a year contract, which was supposed to expire in the next following year. And the goal of the contract was to get much as possible players into the tennis program. So throughout that program, in the same year, I groomed 12 players, and in the next two, then I groomed the next 22 players. So in all together, it was around 35 to 37 players that I groomed out. All of them never played tennis before in their lives, but the dedication and the effort and the love, the energy that they provided made it to a point whereby they are recognized now in the Namibian tennis world. So the majority of them are already ranked as a top 8, and top 5, and top 3, and number 2 and 1. So basically, the love of the game actually paid off. Okay, so far, due to the growth of young athletes participating, it's not actually output layout whereby it's all about the winning and losing. It's about the participation part, of which that they show their epic of interest into engaging into something where they see it will be difficult, but they started falling in love with it, and it makes it look easy as if they already knew it. So the whole goal in this is, for the couple of years, we have a heck of number of D lines whereby we have less tennis players. So what we want to do is we want to have more participations going than just to like have more players sitting and watching. So we want ones who are watching, they have to get in and play, and the ones who are sitting and watching have to be the next ones following up to go play. Yeah. All right. The only access whereby we can actually have players to achieve is when we actually have to start getting them involved, because they can be players that can actually uplift their performance, but with no motivation and more dedication and responsibilities, it will be a little bit difficult. So we want more participations, whether it's win or lose, of which we know the energy that they provide is going to be the one that's going to give us the drive to let them get where they are. And definitely, we know how to get them there. So we have no doubt on competing with them. I did face a few challenges whereby as a coach, when players need to level up on a certain page, when difficulties are coming in between, players misunderstood the tactical and the constructive sides of level-wise coaching that you have to use. So we lose a little bit of players in between by leveling up, because most of the players think the same way that they have been coached when they were under 10 is going to be the same way that they will be worked with when they are under 12. So on the highest perspective, that is actually the one that we actually start doing now, which that I started encouraging coaches to start interacting with players so that they have to teach players to start making mistakes in order to withhold mistakes. Because the only way you can actually correct someone is when you have to see what you have to work on. Yeah. Our tennis in the country, the easiest thing to do for us to get the growth going is coaches need to stop competing, and they have to really compete with themselves. It's not about who you are coaching, it's about how many you have coached. It's like how many are engaging. Because what's the use of me competing with another coach if I'm not on the same standard, in terms of me putting my standards first and uplifting my coaching, of which that can also motivate him to actually start doing that. Because the easiest way whereby we can start getting numbers in is when we have to start working together. Because without holding hands, it won't be possible. Because personally, tennis coaching is very rare in Namibia, and we have a handful of coaches. And through those handful of coaches, there are a number of coaches of which anyone in the country can point out and say, no, I want to get lessons from those persons. So remember, I was doing development program for 3 years on my own, and I just came to the biggest tennis school of the country. So that is actually telling you where the ethics and my work's ethics are actually laid out.
Dis tyd om alles te los en net te speel. Van die grootste stories tot die wildste oomblikke. Ons bring dit alles reguit na jou skerm toe. Stories, mense en die energie wat jou laat voel, jy's deel van iets groter. Moenie uitspeel mis nie. Elke Vrydag aand om 8uur op DStv kanaal 285, GoTV kanaal 25 en OneUp 2.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.